Hello, 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 all four of you. Hi, Michael Hensley. Hello, Heather. How are you? What's going on? Well, guys, there's not much going on with the Guthrie case. The only update I have is the other day when that exploring with Jim guy went out, he found a pair of pants and a knee brace. He was waiting for the police. Hi, Wyatt. How do you? How are you? Um, they were waiting. He was waiting for the police to come out. He found a pair of pants and a knee brace. The police didn't come out that day, but JLR went back down. And now the pants and the knee brace are gone. The comforter's been flipped over, but they left it there. Um, so we don't know who took those items. Did the police come out later and grab them? Maybe. Did the perpetrator possibly grab them? Maybe. Or who knows? Some weirdo might have come out and grabbed them. So that's about it. JLR, Dad's Gone Live has gone home. JLR decided he's going home tomorrow. They all said they would come back if something happens, but nothing's really moving on the case. So I think everybody's kind of abandoning ship for now. There's no point in sitting on the house. It's been turned back over to the family. Hello, Twisted Tea. How are you? Nancy's house has been turned back over to the family. There's no point in sitting on that. Hi, Michelle Meltdown. How are you? I have Eric's cards done. If he wants to swing by, I'll do them, but only if he wants to come by. It might take a little while to go through and go over, but just tell him whenever he's ready, I can do his reading. I must be really tired. I'm having a lot of neck pain right now, but Heather, I read that as hello, half twisted. So not much is going on with the Nancy Guthrie thing. It's kind of died down. And the last few men standing out there covering it have died down. Although Tucson 857 or 857 Tucson, he lives out there. So he's going to continue to cover it, but like everything else, there's other things to move on to in the news cycle. Hi, Erica. How are you, sweetheart? That's about it. There isn't much going on. And other than that, I spent the afternoon finishing up Eric's reading, and I really didn't do much else. So I don't know what else is going on. Let's see what's in the news. That's not what I wanted. This laptop is slow. It's brand new. It's slow. See, that's a problem. The other one, there's things it's better at, and it's a lot quicker, but it gets really weird if I try to do StreamYard on it. trying to pull up the AP wire here. The problem with the news is I don't want to get into anything political, and it's all political. And now we have pop up ads. What's new with you guys? Is there anything you guys want to talk about? Hi, Carol. How are you, sweetheart? I think a lot of people have been having issues with YouTube and StreamYard. I think so. I'll be back. I'm hopping back. The biggest problem I've been having with StreamYard Twisted Tea is the chat doesn't sync up. Like it'll freeze. Here's something interesting. Let me pull this up. A red fox stows away on a cargo ship traveling from England to US. And this is from the AP Wire. The stowaway truly was Sly the Fox. A red fox somehow slipped into a cargo ship that traveled from Southampton, England to New York, where the animal is now in the Bronx Zoo's care. The zoo said Wednesday that the 11-pound male fox appears healthy after early examinations. He seemed to be settling in well. It's gone through a lot, said Keith Lowett, the zoo's director. It's not clear how the animal got on the ship full of automobiles, which left Southampton on February 1st. According to the zoo, U.S. Customs Border Protection and the ship's crew discovered the furry passenger while traveling to the port of New York and New Jersey, where the vessel pop-up ads. Where the vessel arrived February 18th. Officials brought the fox to the zoo. The next day, he estimated to be 2 years old. The species, formerly named Vulpes vulpes, is widespread in Europe, Asia, North America, and parts of Africa. A long-term home for this fox will be found once he clears some more health screenings. For now, he's in the zoo's veterinary center. Being an omnivore, he's getting a diet of produce, proteins, and some biscuit-like items. What is a biscuit-like item? Is it a biscuit or is it not? Good news, Boston St. Patrick's Day Parade went safely down with nearly 1 million people. No, I did not go. You didn't go. Why didn't you go? They were doing, last night when I came home from work, they were doing the pub crawl in Bethlehem. they're all over the streets drunk. At 5 p.m., they're already drunk, right? Or 5:30, whatever time it was when I went through there. Um, there's not too much new in the oddities section. They're still talking about that drunken raccoon from the liquor store that I did a show on about 4 or 5 months ago. So, let's see what's going on in the entertainment world. Guess the Academy Awards are going on tonight. Uh, that's all about the Oscars. I'm not really into the Oscars. Let's see. I'm just checking out some news stories, guys. I really don't. Yeah, no, I hear you jumping in to say hello. So, hello to all. I'll be watching on my TV. Hi, Jeff. How are you? Big storms in Connecticut. Ah, gotcha. You know what? I think that's why my neck and back are hurting right now. Um, the, I have a headache. I have a really bad headache. See, that I don't know if it's from doing the tarot cards or the weather because it's cloudy and overcast. When it gets like that, I get achy. That sucks with StreamYard, especially since what they charge. They need to straighten out their issue. They do, Carol. And actually, a couple years ago, Carol, I looked into doing using Restream. I was using Restream for a while because it was cheaper, and it worked fine, but other people didn't like it and they complained about it. So I went back to StreamYard, and it's nothing but expensive trouble. It really does suck. Um, Let me just go to Google and see the daily, like regular, what's in today's news. Uh-oh, it looks like Minnesota's going to get another 6 to 10 inches of snow. Ooh, better them than us. Here, this sounds a little bit positive. Energy Secretary says Americans could feel relief on gas prices in a few more weeks. Chris Wright said the Strait of Hormuz isn't safe at the moment, but the administration is talking with other countries about securing the key oil shipping lane. We have our own oil. Why are we not using it? Wouldn't that be much cheaper? Energy Secretary Wright said Sunday that there's a very good chance gas prices could drop below $3 a gallon by summer. They were already below $3 per gallon. And then this shit happened. I mean, I don't know where you guys are in the country, but I was paying between 276 and 296 for gas for the past 2 years. And now it's up over 3. Way up over 3. So I don't want to hear this shit. Drop the prices back down. We have our own oil. We don't have to buy it from somewhere else in times like this. We can use our own. Once this freaking war is over, then go back to buying oil elsewhere. Blah, blah, blah. See, this is why I don't like politics. They get me mad. All right, now the New York Times is saying oil prices may not fall soon. All right. Get your story straight, guys. Are the oil prices going up or going down? What the hell? Did you guys have a lot of wind yesterday? Not watching the awards, too political. You were paying $2.35 a gallon. Yeah, I was paying maybe between $2.65 and $2.75 a gallon, which, yeah, it's more than you, Wyatt, but for us that was pretty good out this way. Hello, Edwin. How are you, sweetheart? What's going on? Yeah, the awards are. It's not even political. I'm not even interested anymore. I really don't care. Let's see what else. Sheriff gives update on Nancy Guthrie says he believes she may have been targeted. Yeah, we knew that for 2 days already. That's old news. Cuba confirms talk with U.S. officials. Could a historic deal be next? There you go, guys. SoFlo might become a real citizen. Told ya. Are we still in shutdown? Like our government? See, guys, there's times I have to not pay attention to some of this news because I get addicted to the news and it takes over my life. So I have to put a block up. Yes, it was really windy here. No, you know what? Movies aren't what they used to be. The movie stars aren't what they used to be. They're just, I don't know if I mean, even Carol, even if you take the politics out of the award shows and stuff, um, I don't know, along with the internet, it's like anybody and everybody can be in a movie now. Like, there's no talent needed anymore. Just my opinion. According to the news, I think President Trump wants to invade Cuba by military force. Just my opinion. Oh, he does. And he did. But for the past few days, though, Edwin, I've been hearing that Cuba's ready to talk and negotiate. So Trump might not get his Cuban invasion. He might get a peaceful negotiation. Well, yesterday was really, really windy. And I had an elder lady fall down out on the property. And I couldn't physically help her up myself. So I had to wait and get help. So thankfully I had a blanket in my car. I put a blanket on her and I kept her warm. But just with my fibromyalgia, standing out in the cold wind just doesn't help. It hurts my bones. It hurts my bones. It hurts my nerves. It hurts my skin. So I'm really kind of feeling beat up today. Yeah, just shows and movies, they're just not what they used to be. You know, and back in the day when theater tickets were still somewhat affordable, if you didn't see a movie when it first came out, you had to wait for it to come out on VHS, or even Betamax. And back in those days, the movie came out, the Oscars were about another year away, and it wasn't like for another 6 months after that you could rent the movie. I mean, if you really wanted to see a movie and you missed the movie theater, you had to wait like a year and a half before it came out on videotape. Um, you had to, you know, and they were worth watching. They were worth waiting for, or if they came out on TV, it might have come out on TV like maybe a year later, but it was all chopped up on TV, for commercials and language and stuff like that. Um, it just, it's not, listen, there, and when I say when movie theater tickets were affordable, I'm talking like $7 or $8. I have not been in a movie theater for so long. I don't even know what they cost now, to be honest with you. I don't, it's not worth it. I'll wait for it to come out on Netflix or Hulu and I'll sit back with my own snacks and watch the show. Let's see. Find some more news. They're talking about flights, if they're safe or not. And this is from USA Today, but yesterday, if that makes sense. Are U.S. flights safe, yes or no? The feds say yes, but signs of danger are growing. So for those of you that are travel by airplane, just take extra caution. Take extra caution if you're going to travel by plane. This is taking a while to pull up. Damn it. See, I really think StreamYard puts a lot of stress on computers. That's why it's slow. How has the Iran war increased terror risks? Uh, oh, this is taking forever. The war in Iran has increased terror risks by prompting federal counterterrorism agencies to move to a war footing due to the fears of retaliatory strikes on U.S. soil. Authorities are specifically monitoring potential sleeper cells and have intercepted encrypted communications that may serve as operational triggers for assets outside of Iran. The FBI and the Department of Homeland Security have cautioned that the regime in Iran have a long history of plotting assassination and terrorist acts against Americans. Well, duh. That's why people don't fuck with Iran. Like, of course Iran's messed up, but we should have kept our nose out of it because now you're going to drag. Never mind. These concerns are exacerbated by partial DHS shutdown, which has led to staff and resource shortages in critical anti-terrorism divisions. Additionally, an Iranian operative named Asif Merchant was recently convicted for his role in a prior plot to assassinate Donald Trump. Beyond the domestic threat, the conflict is fueling regional instability and sectarian anger following the assassination of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Experts say religion is being used as a galvanization tool to mobilize supporters across the Middle East. Meanwhile, the Strait of Hormuz has become a flashpoint for economic warfare. Fun, fun. All right, let me get back to you guys here. TSA is backed up because of the shutdown. I believe it. Broadway tickets are over $100 plus tax, depending on day, weekends, more expensive. Well, theater, like yeah, that's Broadway theater. They've always been a lot more expensive. I'm talking about your regular movie theaters, Edwin. It's always been considerably more expensive to go to a play, let alone a Broadway play. That's understandable. But I remember when we were kids, we could go to the movies like a couple times a month. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a big deal. I don't know. Let me look up the price of movie theater tickets. Now, it used to always be cheaper to go to a matinee. But you used to be able to go to a matinee for like $2 or $3. Um, I think 9 or 10 now. Let me Google the price of movie theater tickets. All right, so a standard movie is $8 to $15. If you go to an IMAX Dolby Cinema, 15 to 22. A 4DX screen, 18 to 25, and this is per person. And it does say it could be higher, like if you go to New York. Everything seems to be more expensive in New York. Yeah, see, most discount theater tickets are $8. I stopped going to the movie theaters when the high price was $8. All right, movie ticket prices vary widely, averaging around $16, but can range from under 10 to over 20. Movies at this theater. Okay, so I'm looking at the Cinema 8 in Allentown. Wuthering Heights, Undertone, Reminders of Him, Hoppers, The Bride, which is a thriller. Uh, let's see. Goat, Scream 7, Yeah, see, none of these films even, they don't even interest me. Jesse, I'm so nervous. My daughter and granddaughter are coming home from Greece tomorrow. Uh, Wyatt used to see movies for 10 cents a movie. I believe that, Wyatt. Carol, she'll be, listen, I'm going to tell you something, okay? They're going to be fine. Um, the last time I went through the airport was this past October. Now, mind you, I was flying domestically. I wasn't flying out of the country, but they're pretty safe. They are pretty safe. Um, and Greece is not a country that we're at war with. My main concern more is the airports. You know, obviously, you're not going to get on Iranian Pan Am right now. But I think they're going to be fine. Just stay calm, take deep breaths. I stopped going to movies back when they stopped playing Rocky Horror every weekend. That's also where prices started going up. Oh my God, Rocky Horror. Let's do the time warp again. Yeah, I've been to a few of those. I actually went to the Bucks County Playhouse, did live action Rocky Horror. Like, you know, not just a movie, it was just actors. Which one wider? The first, well, technically, I guess it would be the fourth, but I always call it the first. Um, Carol, sweetheart, just they'll be fine. I'm sure they'll be fine. I feel it. They're gonna be fine. Um, yeah, I would. You know, we have a good relationship with Greece. Like I said, I get more fearful of like the airports and stuff. Like, and it's not. I don't know where you guys fly out of, Carol, but I fly out of, usually it's either Philadelphia or Lehigh Valley. And I try to go to Lehigh Valley when I can because it's closer. Now, Lehigh Valley is a very, very tiny, tiny airport, but it's the fourth largest airport in Pennsylvania. So you got to figure you have Philadelphia, you have Pittsburgh. I don't know what would be the other big airport in PA, but then you have Lehigh Valley. But it's actually a fairly tiny airport. Now, I ended up in oh shoot. My layover was in Atlanta. You want to talk about scary. That that airport was huge. And again, it could be coupled with I don't like a lot of being around a lot of people to begin with. Um my biggest fear in Atlanta though was you get to the gate you're at and then they change gates and it's all the way across the other side of the airport. Meaning if you don't want to have to clear customs again, you got to take that train. um, it basically, you walk onto it, it zips you over to the other side. Like, so you're technically not going outside, so you don't have to go through customs again. But going through customs takes a long time. So, you'll go to the next gate, and you'll sit and you'll wait there for like 45 minutes, and then they'll change the gate again. Or they'll keep changing the gates back and forth, and then you got to run here, you got to run there. That was my biggest fear. But I, you know, the airplanes themselves didn't, thank you, but it is an 11-hour flight coming back. I'm sure. I'm sure. And listen, I'm not going to tell you not to worry. I mean, air travel is kind of scary to begin with. I feel you. I'm sure they'll be okay. And you didn't want to go this time, Carol? I'm sure you'll go back some other time. Well, I have to go. I will see you later. Well, you have a great day, Mr. Wyatt Earp, and thank you for stopping by. I had to tell you someone who tries very hard not to be judgmental. There was a guy in a turban in my gate, then in line, then sitting next to me. Nicest, very smart tech guy. You know what, Twisted Tea? I know what you're saying because I've never been. I was, um, racism and prejudice, like in my house growing up, was not a thing. It just was not. You weren't racist, you weren't prejudiced. That's just the way it was. I never had a fear in my life of anybody because of their color or religion or anything. Um, but I gotta tell you, uh, right after I was pregnant during 9/11, and then December after 9/11, when shopping malls were still a thing. um, I actually that was the year I started, like, for the first time ever really did any type of online Christmas shopping was that year, and I don't necessarily know if it was so much because of 9/11, um, more than it was I was pregnant and I was very huge when I got pregnant. It was very uncomfortable. Um, so I had started doing a lot of online shopping, but there were a few times I still had to go, like a few things I had to go pick up at the mall or stuff. Online shopping really wasn't a thing yet. Um, and I'll never forget, I saw a family there, and they had turbans on, and the women had the faces covered, and it freaked me out. I finished up my shopping real quick. I got in the car and I cried, and I raced home. And I don't think my husband was home yet, from work. And I called my mom freaking out because I thought I turned into a racist. Um, I was like, Mom, I said I was at the mall and I saw these guys with turbans and the women had the burqa on their faces, and it freaked me out and I panicked and I ran home. And, oh, Mr. Edwin, you have a great evening. They're flying from Athens to Newark. Oh, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. No, actually, well, I think Twisted Tea, with me being pregnant, it wasn't so much that I feared for myself, but it was my hormones that just made me freak out, you know? Hi, Scott. How are you, sweetie? Yeah, I think Twisted Tea, I think it was my hormones. It was just, you know, and now, mind you, before 9/11, like, it was July of 2001. So it was only 2 months before. That was the first time I had gotten on an airplane since I'd been 12 years old. The last time I was on an airplane, I was 12 years old. Um, and, I'm on an airplane in July, and then by September, like airplanes are falling out of the sky. I was pregnant. Uh, then I go Christmas shopping at the mall, and I freak out because I'm seeing, guys in turbans and women in burqas at the mall. And I cried. I thought I was, I called my mom. I said, I don't know what to do. I said, does that make me racist? And she was like, no. She said, you're just in shock. The country just had a huge attack. Back in the day, you thought no one would ever. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. They're ruthless. People are ruthless, Twisted Tea. Absolutely. Yeah, trust me, terrorists have no. That's why they're called terrorists now, because they don't care. They don't care if you're pregnant. They don't care if you're elderly. You know, they don't care if you're rich, you're poor. They don't care. Let's see what else here. I gotta do my taxes. Not just terrorist people. Oh yeah, no, you're right. No, absolutely, Twisted Tea. But when they're from our country, we call them homegrown terrorists. So they're still terrorists. No, I couldn't go through it twice. Yeah, no, I hear you, sweetie. I hear you, sweetheart. You just take every day one day at a time, Carol. And, you know, I don't like to say it'll get better. I like to say it gets easier, meaning easier to deal with. Yeah. Um, some things don't get better, they just get easier. Life will get easier. I think you should go on, when once you get everything settled, Carol, I think you should go on a nice beach vacation. Nice, warm, tropical beach vacation. Yeah, Carol, what time are they landing? 12 tomorrow night. Oh, okay. All right. See that, I would recommend Lehigh Valley Airport, but here's the thing with Lehigh Valley Airport's weird, right? Like if I take a flight out of Lehigh Valley Airport, depending on which airline it is, it might lay over in Philadelphia or Newark. At which point you may as well just drive to Newark to take that flight out of there. You know what I mean? um, but like when I went to South Carolina though, they did a layover in now I prefer to lay over in Charlotte, but Delta doesn't lay over in Charlotte anymore. They go to Atlanta. Which was kind of weird to me because it's kind of like you go down and then back up a little bit. I don't know, whatever. Um, but Newark's definitely a lot better than Philly. Philly, I mean Newark's a big airport. Yeah, it is. But they'll be fine. I'm sure they'll be fine. Now, do you mean 12 o'clock tomorrow night, as in Monday going into midnight? You don't mean tonight going into midnight, right? But yeah, Carol needs a fabulous beach vacation after all of this. Sleep late, go out to lunch, just try to keep us busy. Yeah, Twisted Tea's right. Keep yourself occupied. Keep your brain occupied. The last time I flew was around 1998. I went to the Bahamas with my mom, came back in a blizzard, had to rock that night, had sun poisoning, had to be at work that night, had sun poisoning. Oh my gosh. Oh, sun poisoning. Ugh. When I was 17, I had sun poisoning on my back, and then I turned around and fractured my shin, which means I was pretty much laying on my back most of the time with sun poisoning. Oh my God, it hurt. Right now, I'm watching the tornadoes down where my baby girl is. It's hard not having control. It is hard. Yeah. Tornadoes, yikes. I was down in Myrtle Beach right during hurricane season, and they all hit above me up in North Carolina, not South Carolina. So I had a great time. um, yeah, lots of prayers for everybody right now. Ryan Hall, y'all, on my TV. Who's Ryan Hall? I don't know who that is. Let me look. Ryan Hall, y'all. Digital meteorologist. Oh, okay. Gotcha. JRL. Yeah, I know Christine. I already said that. My sergeant took me over to the hospital. They all kind of laughed and did not feel too bad. Now my vacations are driving cross country. I don't mind that at all. I actually kind of like it that way. Yeah, I think, well, I flew to Myrtle Beach, Heather, because I had somebody gifted me airline miles. And I was originally supposed to go to Ireland with them. Um, but I'm not leaving the country for at least another couple years. I don't want to, I have elderly family members that are ill, and it's one of those. I want to, you know, I don't mind being in the country if I have to jump a plane to come back home, but I don't want to be, I don't want to be out of the country when something happens. Um, and I only had so much time to use the miles. So, 12 tomorrow night. Okay. Um, and somebody I have access to a free condo down in Myrtle Beach. So I took my gifted airline miles and I took my free week at Myrtle Beach condo and had a free vacation. I think next year, though, I probably will drive. I'll still get the condo free, but next year I'll drive. Now, Carol, are you picking them up or is someone else picking them up from the airport? What's going on with that? My dad was in South America, Colombia, when 9/11 happened, when they finally opened up flying again for the US. I was so scared for my dad. My brother was still living in Brooklyn. Um, he lives out in Seattle now, but he was still living in Brooklyn when 9/11 happened. And, but he worked in Manhattan. And thankfully, my brother was faithfully late for his job. Which kept him in Brooklyn, not in Manhattan. Not that at that point you're real close. Um, and I remember they shut all the phone services down. We had cell phone. I had a cell phone back then. Cell phones were a thing back then, but they still weren't. Not everybody had them, and uh, but all even regular phone lines were shut off. Like you could not get through to anybody in the city. And I managed to squeak an email through to my brother, and he responded back. He said, "I'm fine." But that was it. That was only communication that I had with him. And I was just glad to know that he was, oh, Carol, sweetheart. And Carol, you might need it. You know what? If that makes you feel better, sweetheart, go do it. Nobody's going to judge you for that. Sometimes people need help processing. Don't, if that's what you feel you need, yeah, nobody's gonna, you know, nobody's gonna begrudge you that. That's a tough loss. That's a tough trauma, Carol. Yeah, see, there's nothing wrong with therapy at all. I mean, we can all be here for you. We can all be your friends, but if that's what you feel you need, you got to take care of yourself, Carol. You got, whatever you need to do, you do it. and don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about what people think. Um, just, you know, I told you I'm here. If you need me, reach out. You know, all of us are here for you. You're also blessed. You have your family. You have a very good family. You know, it's one day at a time, sweetheart. One day at a time. It's a lot to process. Like I said, I don't say things get better, but they will get easier. You need to take that time to grieve. You need to take that time. If you need therapy, go for therapy. Take all the time you need to grieve because your body needs that. Your mental health needs that. You can always be strong. Like, yeah, when my dad was dying, I told my husband not to come. I needed to be by myself. Oh, you can't always be strong. Yeah. Listen, you need to go cry, sweetheart. You go sit down, you go cry, and you cry your eyes out and take as long as you need. And don't be afraid to reach out, Carol. You know how to get a hold of me if you need to. Um, so Heather, how are those cats doing, huh? Let's try to Ryan Hall, y'all. Let's try to be uplifting here. Just always remember you were always my daughter's friend is picking her up. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Just always remember you were there for him, and I'm sure and listen, he's still here with you, Carol. He is. You were there for him. He's still here with you. All right. He's always going to be with you. You guys, you guys spent a lifetime together, and there's something to be said for that. They are doing great. The six cubs are still doing great, and now are going to kills with the mothers. Okay, that's good. Jesse, watch Ryan Hall, y'all, during a bad weather event. You'll see the super chats. Oh my God. Well, I was watching JLR during, the whole Nancy Guthrie thing, and you can't read some. I mean, these people, 17,000 people in the chat at the same time. I mean, damn. And Carol, that bond is still there. That bond's never broken. All right. Think of it this way. He just changed form. He's still here. He's still with you. He's always going to be here with you. He's always going to be there for you, just in a different form. He has 132,000 K right now. Holy crap. Yeah. Of course, we can't forget the two future kings in the Messiah Mara. They have a great mother and the best dads, very well protected. They are around 8 months old now. Oh, okay. Yeah, Carol, that bond's never going to be broken. I hate to tell you, you're stuck with him. He's stuck with you, no matter what, sweetheart. Alrighty. Alrighty, guys. Well, it's been an hour. Um, it's too easy for couples to end. It is. It is. They don't make them like that anymore, Carol. You are incredibly lucky. You had the love of your life for a lifetime. Not too many people can say that. You have a lot of family and friends around you that care about you. And you'll be okay. I'm 37.5 years, and although things aren't always perfect, I can't imagine life without him. Aw, that's sweet, Twisted Tea. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up. Um, I hope to see all of you guys over at Angels later. Yes? All right, guys, I love you all. Try to be kind. And I will see you guys all over at Angel. I'll see you guys all at the next chat room, which will be Angels. Bye, guys. Love you. Carol, love you too.